Good morning to everyone. Thank you for being with us this morning for this important announcement. I'm delighted, please, join us here. I'm delighted to be joined by our drug director, Kurt Lane, who has really taken the lead in fighting opioid abuse in our state, and I'm grateful for his leadership. Dr. Cheryl May, director of the Criminal Justice Institute, who's the key player in chairing the very important School Safety Commission. And thank you for joining us, Dr. May. And then John Kirkley, Dr. John Kirkley, Executive Director of the Arkansas Pharmacy Board, is here as well. And most importantly, I'm joined, I believe, 6 school nurses from across the state of Arkansas. From Rogers and Harrison and multiple other cities. They are here today to participate in this important announcement. We continue to make progress in our fight against opioid abuse in our state. It is a challenge for us. It is something that takes constant effort, leadership, and tools to be successful in saving lives. Too many sons and daughters have been lost to opioid abuse, and we want that to end. To date, in our state, with the support of the Arkansas General Assembly, we have created a robust prescription drug monitoring program to aid physicians to make sure they're not overprescribing opioids to patients. It allows them to do the double check. We have revised the rules so that a pharmacist can write a prescription for naloxone without having an order from a doctor. The Blue and You Foundation has given a grant of $275,000 to supply naloxone to 2,500 law enforcement officers and to have them trained as well. All of these different elements are very important in our fight against opioid abuse and to save lives. Today we are here to make another announcement that will be important in life-saving techniques in our schools. In Arkansas, there are approximately 1,100 school nurses across our schools here in this state. The School Safety Commission, led by Dr. May, recommended that all school nurses be trained to administer naloxone and to have available naloxone kits that's convenient to them in order to save lives in the event the circumstances required. Based upon the recommendation of the School Safety Commission, the state will be training and supplying naloxone kits to every school nurse in Arkansas. And that is the announcement today that will be an important life-saving capability for our schools and to allow our school nurses to be trained and to have these kits available. Why is this necessary? According to the federal government survey, Arkansas ranked the highest in the nation for the percentage of students in grades 9 through 12 who took pain medication without a prescription. This is not the ranking that we seek. In 2018, a Central High School student overdosed in a bathroom on campus. Fortunately, she had a naloxone prescription in her purse in which a first responder was able to access and save her life. That is an example of how naloxone on a campus can be utilized. And putting this in the hands of school nurses will give every school the capability to save lives in the event these circumstances required it. I'll just make an observation that I've been engaged in the fight against illegal drugs and opioid abuse for a long time. And this is a technique with naloxone kits that would not have been considered in the 80s and even in the 90s, and probably even in the 2000s. Things have changed. One, because we recognize how opioid abuse has overtaken so many young people, either through overprescribing or their own abuse, but the priority has to be in saving lives first and then changing behavior. And that's a big shift in how we view things in the fight against illegal drugs. with those comments and with that announcement, I'd like to invite Dr. Cheryl May to the podium for comments.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Governor. Let me first and foremost thank you for your incredible leadership. Had the great opportunity of being able to work closely with you on the School Safety Commission, and I don't know of another person in this state who has more passion for our children than you. This was a unique opportunity for us to be able to partner with Director Lane and his staff that are focusing on naloxone with our staff, CJI staff who are training first responders and providing naloxone kits to them, and also partner with Department of Ed. The governor made it very clear to all of us through the commission that we all have limited resources, but the 30 recommendations that we came up with, it was very important that we try to implement as much, and collaboration is one way in which we can maximize the resources that we have. This particular project is a very, very good example of how we've done that through the nexus between CJI, the Arkansas Center for School Safety, and Director Lane's leadership. We were able to find a way. I'm also grateful to the Department of Ed and Commissioner Key for his passion about school safety, and particularly Sharia Lindsay. Was our point person with the school nurses at ADE. But I also have to talk about Dr. Bobbitt, because Dr. Bobbitt, president of the U of A system, has been a strong supporter of this project for a very long time. He has helped us all try to get this life-saving tool into the colleges and universities around the state. This is one of those efforts that, you know, it's not going to take any one of us, but it's going to take us all collaboratively, and it was a great honor for us to be involved in that.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, I wanted to recognize Director Kirk Lane, who again has really been a very significant voice, both in our state but nationally, in the effort to fight opioid abuse. So, Director Lane.
Thank you, Governor. And as you can see, our collaboration is growing. A whole series of people that were involved in this project and a number of others that are going to save lives in our state. You know, a lot of people say naloxone is an enabler. I would say that's true. It enables life. It enables somebody to breathe during an opioid overdose. And if people are alive and if people are in need of help, it enables a second chance of recovery. And that's so important. So it's proud for us to be involved in this program. Our program to date has recorded 262 lives saved in the last 2 years. We hope that that number will go down, but we're prepared if that number goes up, and that's what we're preparing ourselves for. So with that, I'd like to read off the names of nurses that will be receiving a kit from the governor ceremonially as we start this program. Ellen Hutchinson from Mountain Home. Tiffany Robertson from Harrison. Mary Jeanette Coberly from Rogers. Amanda Johnson from Rogers. And Brenda Chase from Bryant.
Thank you. And so we got, did everybody get covered there?
No, it's taken.
All right.
One more.
Me, Judy Morris.
Judy Morris.
From Harrison. Thank you.
My apologies.
That's okay.
Thank you.
And so with that, I know the nurses will be available in the event anybody wanted to ask a question afterwards as well. But thank you for the difference you'll make in your schools with this tool. And with that, we haven't turned over any questions. I'm sorry.
Are we going to gather any data on how often kids are being used in schools?
There should be the statistics available for that. I believe that we have indicated that we know how naloxone is being used by law enforcement. We should also have that available in terms of the schools. Kurt, do you have that?
Sure. I think to answer your question, we have implemented it into the college level in law enforcement. We've had 3 documented incidences on school campuses in the last year. Really was the push for us to try to make it implemented in there. A lot of our school resource officers are equipped with the lock zone through their individual departments, so we try to make that available with our school, whether it be schools or higher education being a priority.
Yep, Dr. Ray.
And also part of the memorandum of understanding that we did with the Department of Ed, there's a best practice that we do regardless of whether it's what kind of first responder, that if they do use naloxone, we do collect data and they do report that data. So we're hoping that once we're hoping that they not be used, first of all, but if they are, that we can get a better handle on exactly where these instances are.
This is funded by a federal grant that covers a broad arena of activities in our efforts to fight opioid abuse. The cost of these kits, if you look at supplying all of the 1,100 nurses in Arkansas, would be about $100,000. Of course, if they're used, they'll be replaced. With that, thank you very much, and we'll be available afterwards if there's any additional questions. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.